budget for 2025. At a time when this government is bankrupt and they know it, and where they depend on foreign external aid to be able to keep this country afloat. Every single month, this government goes to the central bank with treasury bills and government bonds, which they raise to be able to pay salaries, and they know that. But they still continue expanding the expenditure of this country. This is the contributor in this budget. They have, for next year, after buying this year $1.1 billion, $1,087,000,000 worth of SUVs for the Islamic conference. $1 billion is
expensive cars.
Yes, $12.5 million cars. 12.25, sorry. They bought 87 of those for $1,080,000,000 this year. Which they, for the 2-day conference, after that they distributed amongst themselves. Now for next year, this is the same government that is asking for $800 million to buy new SUVs, $335 million for fuel, 100 and something million for maintenance.
Maybe we are about to host the UN General Assembly.
Yeah, or probably. But look, which will never happen, of course, and there's no other major conference coming to this country with Barrow in place. But Peter, take that together. The purchase of new SUVs after spending $1 billion, this I repeat. Next year, they want to spend a total of $1.2 billion on purchasing, fueling, and maintaining new SUVs. $1.2 billion. When the Minister of Agriculture of this country has only $945 million. So those new cars are much more important than Ministry of Agriculture. They are giving 25% more money than they have given to the Ministry of Agriculture for the whole country. This is the government that has tabled this budget, which gives $74 million to NHRC, National Human Rights Commission, with their poor track record. When they give more to the National Human Rights Commission, more than the Ministry of Fisheries, more than the Ministry of Information, which is not a bad thing, and more than to the Ministry of Tourism.
But the Ministry of Fisheries is supposed to be making money, not using up money.
It's supposed to be making money, but this is supposed to be seed money for you to make more money.
Okay.
These are being exploited to the maximum by foreign vessels. If you are going to be serious, you're going to get some fast boats to monitor our seas. Or you're going to get some surveillance equipment to go with it to monitor our seas. What are you doing? And you're going to invest in the fisheries sector to help our youth who want to go into fishing to be able to become self-sufficient and self-reliant. But instead of doing that, you give them less for the whole ministry, less than what you give to Human Rights Commission. Doing what? More than you give to tourism ministry, which is supposed to attract tourists into this country and make us earn more money from tourism. We were doing that. Today we're losing everything to Senegal. Our tourists come and spend a few days and they go to Fatala. We can't develop the...
Which is in Senegal.
Yes. We can't develop the same kind of parks in the country here, in the Fonis, in Congo here, in all over the country, Kiang, anywhere, just name it. Why can't we do that? Why can't we invest in tourism? Why can't we invest money in ecotourism? They tried that and they squandered all the money with nothing to show for it. But this is this government, that's the misplaced priorities of this government. And this is the government which this year gives $1,084,000,000 to the president's office. $1 billion to the president's office, much more than the Ministry of Agriculture. So the whole of the country's agriculture sector receives less than what you give to the president and his small office.
Small? That office is not small.
It's small in terms of in comparison to Ministry of Agriculture.
It even has a minister now.
Yes.
Overseeing its affairs.
Unfortunately, again.
How do you mean unfortunately?
We should be reducing those ministers, not creating more. What added value is that going to be? Turning the former chief of staff into a minister and giving him more powers over the other ministers. What added value is that going to be for that? Nothing. Nothing except...
So that he can ensure that they all, keep to the president's agenda.
Budget for 2025. At a time when this government is bankrupt and they know it, and where they depend on foreign external aid to be able to keep this country afloat. Every single month, this government goes to the central bank with treasury bills and government bonds, which they raise to be able to pay salaries, and they know that. But they still continue expanding the expenditure of this country.